Yeah, check, check.
Mic check, check.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Damon Campbell with Karma Loop TV here at Allstate Arena in Chicago. With a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, my name is Halsey, and I'm here tonight with the Imagine Dragons, and the Blackhawks just won the Stanley Cup, so everyone is doing super well.
It's pretty great.
Oh yeah.
Definitely appreciate your time. Now you just put out a new video for Ghost, which we had mentioned. Also sporadic. Taking place in Tokyo. And interestingly enough, I understand you actually used to have like an exchange student from Japan for a while.
Yeah, when I was like 14 years old, I had a girl come live with me for a year. It was Yuki. Super cool. I didn't know much about Japanese culture at the time, so she introduced me on like Japanese rock bands and a lot of anime, some manga I'd never read, and it really had an impact on me at the time, I think. So part of my idea of pop culture was kind of more from the Japanese pop culture. So I've been following it since. I love like Japanese fashion, Japanese culture. I still stay in touch with her. So it was a really cool experience, diversified my household a little bit. So yeah.
And you're certainly illustrating yourself when it comes to we're sort of down on tour right now. But even just in general, I mean, people say that I know you spent quite a bit of time in hotel rooms. Don't seem to have too many reservations though when it comes to like making out videos or even like kissing fans to meet and things like that. Which I find a little surprising, but only because like did your dad really feel like you were cared? Like when you first found out about making out back in the day?
Oh yeah, that's so funny. We were
Okay.
which is really ironic now because of how, what a heavy influence sexuality has on my project. They're like my biggest fans and they see everything. And my dad, when it first started, he said to me, well, you know what? Imagine how Rihanna's parents feel. He was like, I'm fine. So, they're super cool about it. Look past what appears to be, a sexualized project, and they see, what I'm trying to do with it, and that's what kind of makes it, comfortable.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I understand misogyny and feminism are really big concepts. Either attempting to cross barriers or actually break them down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, it's just like I grew up a pretty androgynous looking kid, so I cut my hair off in high school, and I would get the slurs thrown at me, tranny, dyke, and at the time I was like, no, that doesn't insult me, but thank you, whatever. Kids are mean, and they fear what they don't understand. So for me, with LGBT having such a heavy presence in the culture right now, which I'm ecstatic about, I'm kind of, I guess, using myself as a bit of a vehicle because
Absolutely. Yeah.
stereotype that I fit. And for me, if I was the perfect anything, I would be perfect. So, I am constantly growing, constantly evolving, and all the same as a lot of my fans, I'm still trying to figure out myself as well. Absolutely. Can't even have a premiere.
Did you happen to see Ariana's posters on kind of like the double standards?
I did for sure, and I was really, really happy to see that because she has a pretty young fan base, so even her just introducing the concept of feminism to kids that are, so much younger and may not have access to different elements of media and different elements of news that kids my age have, where they're learning about feminism, learning about intersectionality, learning about, trans acceptance and visibility. Some of these kids are a lot younger, and the only social media they check might be hers. So if she says something, it could be bringing it to light to them for the first time, and it also normalizes them because they see her as someone who's so young, she's a household name, so her talking about feminism in that way makes it just another topic for her to be talking about. There's nothing, provocative about it.
Yeah, totally. And it'd certainly be refreshing to see things change. Speaking of which, is it true that you accidentally walked in on Zach from All Time Road after your shower?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she gets dug deep. I used to work at a venue in Pennsylvania called the Crocodile Rock Cafe. I was like 16, a lot about my age, so I was 18, started booking shows there. So I was booking like Warped Tour type bands there, remember 4 Year Strong, Devil Wears Prada, like, you know, more like, I guess like hardcore pop punk kind of bands. One of the bands I booked was All Time Low. So I had access to the venue because I was working and I was running for Green, and I was a massive All Time Low fan. So I walked upstairs and he had just gotten out of the shower and was in the process of putting a towel around himself, and I saw everything. I was like 16 years old and I panicked, and Alex and I are in touch pretty much times a week now, so it's pretty ironic for me to have had that experience and to have it come full circle in that way. Yeah.
Switching topics a little though, you know, I imagine it must be pretty draining although I understand that you're okay with that as long as people are focusing on your actions as opposed to how many times perhaps not for that.
I think it's bound to happen when you put yourself in a position where you have a platform where, you know, any amount of people are looking to you because they relate to you or because they see something in you that, you know, calms their anxieties or, you know, calms their reservations about themselves. I think they're bound to want to be a little bit like you. So it's kind of expected. However, at the end of the day, I'm an artist, you know. I could have been a teacher, could have been a camp counselor, I could have been a doctor if I wanted to have a direct effect on people's lifestyle, but I don't. And I think that at the end of the day, you know, my intention to always be myself is what I think is most important. You know, I see a lot of kids dyeing their hair blue, and I think that's great, but if they wanted to dye it pink instead, I encourage them to do so. You know, the intention is always to be yourself, not to do exactly what I do.
Absolutely. And I do find it quite important yourself always fans who are, you know, maybe considering like cutting themselves or resorting to forms of self-harm.
At the end of the day, I'm 20 years old. I'm an artist who grew up in a different generation than artists who are older than me, where self-harm is more prevalent and where, you know, people are struggling with identities, you know, through their sexuality. People might have been, you know, mental health is becoming more of a popularized topic. So a lot of artists who are a bit older than me maybe aren't so comfortable talking about it because it wasn't on the forefront the way that it was for me growing up. So there's a lot of things I saw that parents and older people maybe didn't know was going on. Like, for example, self-harm. And, you know, so those things I definitely talk about because I try to make myself as accessible as possible. And, you know, as you know, open and accepting as possible because I want people to have a haven in me. Because I was a weird kid and I had awful things happen to me, awful things I did. And, you know, it was hard and I struggled with that. So I would want someone to come to me and think that they can tell me their deepest, darkest secret, and I would judge them for it. Yeah, it was funny. They were one of the first bands that I really fell in love with as like a preteen, Panic at the Disco, because they're so artistically driven. Lyrically, they drew a lot from like contemporary literature and Chuck Palahniuk, and that really appealed to me because that's what I was reading at the time. That culture was a little bit darker, the topics were a little bit more mature, and I think that's definitely had an impact on how I am lyrically today, I'm sure, but also they put on an incredible show. They were storytellers, you know, they brought a burlesque troupe for the Nothing Rhymes with Circus Tour, and they just put on a show that was incredible and believable and extravagant, and that's something that I really admired about them because it was something that no band was really doing at the time. And I think it's really cool. Yeah, just because I think a lot of music doesn't lie with any genre, any gender, anything. It's just sometimes music can be victimizing. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes you need to see from the victim's perspective. Sometimes you need to be the antagonist, you know, not just the protagonist. Because a lot of people write about stuff that's happened to them or rarely write about stuff they've happened to other people. So, you know, looking in from that perspective, it's a unique one, I think, when it comes to songwriting. It's something that I just kind of wanted to approach, especially on the record that's coming out. So Bad News is out in August, and a lot of the songs, you know, come from that other angle. The angle of maybe something hasn't necessarily been done to me, maybe I've done something to someone else, maybe I'm striking something in myself. You know, because I think that human beings, while they are often the victim, can sometimes be the aggressor. And sometimes it needs to be much fun if you want to be a songwriter that explores all elements of what you do.
And not to make light of any of this, but, you know, speaking of feeling really understand, you know, of course we see the loss of hair.
Sure.
But I understand you consider blue to be super color and faded color, opals, things of light. However, it seems as though jeans don't really work out too well for you on stage.
Yeah, no blue jeans on stage. I wear a lot of black on stage. I actually was I went through like a phase a little while ago where I was wearing a lot of like sparkly dresses and some things that I twirling, and one day I kind of just woke up and was like, what the hell am I doing? I don't like any of this. So I started wearing, you know, jeans and jackets. You know, my wardrobe has kind of gone from specialized design outfits to stuff that's in a suitcase that I wear on the street, you know? And that's where I feel most comfortable. And I think that's okay because a lot of artists, you know, have a very strict aesthetic of something they wear on stage. And I think, you know, like I said this whole time, I pride myself on being an artist who's a fucking human.
Yeah.
You know, so if I wake up one day and decide I don't like the way that I dress, I'm going to change it, that's what any human would do. So, you know, I obviously go through those phases and go through that evolution just like anyone else. It's just on stage. It doesn't make it any different.
Was there like a time out in San Diego? I know that like, I don't know whether just like weren't able to like, I don't know, like you didn't feel great.
Yeah, a couple months ago I had I guess my first tour I was with the Blues and I showed in San Diego at the House of Blues when I was wearing jeans first time on stage. And I think for me it was a super stitches thing because the show for me didn't go well. Everyone else was like, no, it was great, but internally I just wasn't happy. And I was wearing jeans that night, so I think superstitious it became to me in the sense that I was like, no, jeans are no good, you know, but I slipped back into them and I was faced my fear of jeans. Now I'm embracing it.
True that your ancestors actually used it. It's like the
Yeah, so my dad, his last name was Frangipani, and in Italian it's Japan. And we have a family historian who I've only met once, unfortunately, in a film. But I don't know this guy. And he shows up and apparently thinks that a funeral is his best time to pull out all these documents. And apparently before it became public domain and was owned by the state, when it was public domain and before it was owned by the state, I guess it was somehow in the possession of my friend's body. Like, definitely like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It was a really bizarre piece of information I learned that, yeah, you know, it's I'm gonna move in. I'm just gonna show up one day, move all my stuff in. Like, yeah, Coliseum, that's fine. Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like people to know about Halsey?
I don't really think so. I think we touched on a ton of really, really unique topics this time, which is sick, but, you know, we're expanding the brand, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Absolutely. That's what's cool. Any final thoughts about it?
Sure. So I'm Halsey. My album Balance comes out August 28th. You're out, and you can hit me up on Twitter at Halsey Music. Thanks for watching, guys.
There you have it. Once again, I'm David Campbell. This is Halsey. Thanks for watching.
Bye.